Toss a coin to your witcher, oh valley of plenty, oh valley of plenty, oh. And toss a coin to your witcher, oh valley of plenty, oh valley of plenty. He's a friend to humanity, your witcher, your witcher. He's a witcher. Today on How to Drink, we make the potions from The Witcher. Not all of them. There's too many. There's a lot of them. I picked three. I'm drunk. You ever just wish you had a mustache you could twirl? You just ever wish you had 3 potions?
You can't handle my strongest potions.
The Witcher is a hugely popular video game franchise that started out actually as a series of novels. To the entire people of Poland, I apologize, but I'm going to attempt to pronounce one of your names. The author, Andrzej Sapkowski.
Mike Wazowski.
His first book came out in 1993. The Witcher was adapted into a video game in 2007. It had started out actually as being a property that was being adapted by Metropolis Studios, I think under the guise of Microsoft. They kind of fell apart. CD Projekt Red bought the rights from Metropolis to finish the thing. It was not a game I actually played at the time, but I do remember in 2007 being a nerd and being kind of plugged into like nerd news that all of this drama was big deal. The Witcher had fallen apart. Oh wait, no, we're fixing it. We're gonna get it done. It's gonna happen. And CG Projekt Red is a huge hero to the gaming community for actually pulling it off. I'm a little foggy on the details on that, and the internet has not been helpful to me in answering some questions I have. But it exists. Hugely popular video game franchise. Honestly, the game, I think, it's way more popular than the novels ever were. And so now we have The Witcher on Netflix, which you should totally watch. It's like the best show I've ever seen. No, we have The Witcher adaptation on Netflix, which honestly wasn't for me. I got about 2 episodes in. I don't know. I can see how the video game works, like the gameplay works. The show, man, woo, baby. Oh. Figuring out what combination of potions is gonna best suit the fight ahead and your play style, I think, is a super important part of the game. I picked 3 potions that I know are super important to baseline survival in The Witcher. We're gonna make Cat Potion, which allows you to see in the dark in the game, not in real life. We're gonna make Swallow, which will increase your health regeneration.
Super important.
And we're gonna make Black Blood, which makes your blood poisonous to vampires. A chief concern of mine. Every day I wake up and think, yet again, another day when the vampires will have their way with me. Whatever can I do? What am I going off of to develop these recipes? I'm going off the appearance of the drink. I'm going where I can off of the base spirit that is called for in the first Witcher, and the bases were like specific things. Tamarishing Rye is a base. Cherry Cordial is a base. Actually gives you like some kind of an input on what that is. And then there was like, I think 5 ingredients that you would use in various numbers to create a potion. Things like Rebus and Keberth and Vitrio. They don't really mean much. In The Witcher 3, all of the bases were collapsed into Dwarven Spirit, as far as I can tell. So anything that calls for something that almost sounds like real booze, it's gonna be Dwarven Spirit. I also looked for inspiration from the ingredients listed in Witcher 3. I don't know what happens in Witcher 2. For some reason, it's just missing from my research. You're just gonna have to live with that. I don't know what to tell you. Let's start with Cat. We're gonna see in the dark. I have a jigger. It's sort of clean. So I'm gonna start with a 1/2 ounce of lemon juice to make Cat. And now I want to add 1/4 ounce of Midori. It is green, it is muskmelon flavored. I find with Midori, you're either going to make a Midori drink, where Midori is predominant, or you're going to use it very sparingly. So a 1/4 ounce is a good place to be for this. I need 1 ounce of Ancho-Ray's chili liqueur. And I need 1 ounce of chartreuse. No one asks me why I don't say it. Oh, and I should also point out, I'm using the yellow chartreuse here. Almost always on the show, you'll see me using green chartreuse. Yellow chartreuse, it's just a different thing. It's just yellow chartreuse. A little sweeter, a little less sharp. In this case, it helps us a lot. And honestly, very few people know anything about chartreuse because if I'm not mistaken, it is created by Chartreusian monks, of which one knows the recipe And then he chooses a apprentice who's the next person to know the recipe, and they literally take a vow of silence. They're monks. So 1 ounce of Sith spirit. There must always be a learner. Do it. And that's it. We're gonna shake that and pour it. I'm gonna serve this in a little potion bottle. And there we have Cat to help us see in the dark. I like that a lot. I gotta say, that is a really weird combination of things that work super well together. The ancho rays and the yellow chartreuse and the Midori team up in such a surprisingly wonderful way. And this is gonna sound awful. It has a slight bubblegum taste, but like in a really unique way, like in a sweet, spicy, bubblegummy-ish sort of thing. I don't know that I've ever had anything quite like this. And it definitely tastes like what I would expect some fantastical Middle Ages apothecaries see in the dark potion to taste like. So I'm gonna say that one is a success. Let's make Swallow. Swallow is probably the most important recipe in the game. It's a health potion. It increases your ability to regenerate health. In Witcher number uno. In Witcher 1. I was gonna say uno again. In Witcher 1, it calls for, I got notes, y'all. It calls for any high quality base, so Cherry Spirit Cordial, Dwarven Spirit, Plum Cordial, Temerian Spirit, or Zeracanian Spirit. And then 1 Vitirio, 2 Rebus, and 1 Aether. But in Witcher 3,
as he is training,
it calls for 1 Dwarven Spirit, 5 Calendines, and 1 Drowner Brain. And it is blue. Oh boy. How are we gonna make a blue drink that calls for all that stuff? Well, this is what I came up with. We're gonna start with a 1/4 ounce of blue curacao, a 1/4 ounce of Nocello. This is a walnut liqueur, and I set out to work this into the drink because of the Drowner Brain. Walnuts look like brains. So when something calls for brains, I think about walnuts. I want a 1/2 ounce of Italicus. This is some interesting stuff. This is a liqueur that is flavored with bergamot. Bergamot is a bitter orange. Bergamot is the primary flavoring ingredient in Earl Grey tea. So maybe for Picard, we should be looking at Italicus for some tea, Earl Grey hot. I need 1.5 ounces of vodka, in this case, Absolute. There are certainly Polish vodkas. Absolute is not one of them. In retrospect, we should have used a Polish vodka. Not because it would taste different, but because it would be Polish. We're gonna shake that drink. I'm gonna put this in a tall potion bottle. I keep calling them potion bottles, but it's not like potion bottle is a particular specific type of glass. And now I would like to top that up with a bit of seltzer. We've made a potion! And so this is Swallow from The Witcher. Blue. I think it's a beautiful blue too. Look at that sucker. That's great. Woo! I love that. The walnut flavor of the Nocello is actually really up front. What's funny is if you drink straight Nocello, I don't know that you get walnut super strong. In this case though, just the balance of other ingredients in there actually brings it to the fore, and I really like it. I may have gone a little heavy on the seltzer here. I think this is a little bit thinned out more so than it needed to be, but it is not overly sweet. It is effervescent. It really features the flavor of the Nocello, and that bitter orange, the bergamot, is running right alongside of it. They're perfectly kind of in tension. It's not bad at all. I think it's pretty good. I think it looks the part. For our final! So this is our last drink of Witcher potions. It's Black Blood. I thought a lot about how to make this drink, and one thing that I've had in mind for a while that I stumbled into is that I actually personally really like the taste of absinthe and coffee. I don't know if I'm alone in that regard or not. They just seem to mate up really well, surprisingly well. So Black Blood is sort of built around that. We're gonna shake this drink. So we're gonna start with a 1/2 ounce of simple syrup. I'm gonna use a Demerara simple syrup here. If you just have regular, that'll be fine. I think Demerara is a little better, but it's not the end of the world. We want a 1/4 ounce of creme de cacao. Quality of your creme de cacao matters. I would look for a dark one. I like Tempus Fugit quite a bit. It has a lot more nuance to it, I find. And I want a 1/4 ounce of absinthe. Your choice of absinthe probably won't make a huge difference because you're just using a little bit. In fact, if you really wanted to, you could probably get away with a Ricard or a Pastis. But I'm going to use the St. George absinthe. I want to add 3 ounces of coffee to my shaker. I have hot coffee here. There's really no reason that a cold brew or that a cold coffee, an iced coffee, wouldn't work. And now I'm going to shake this part of the drink. I'm going to strain this into this very cool dragon glass. And then I'm going to hit that with a twist of lemon. Kind of playing on the idea how certain espresso traditions involve a little piece of lemon in the espresso. Float it in, and this is the black blood. I love that. I think that is a wonderful marriage of coffee and the absinthe, the anisette, a little bit of sweetness. That is wonderful. This is, man, I really like that. I almost wonder if I should have done this hot and not shaken it like that, but boy, I like it. No, I love that drink. That is phenomenal. That is exactly to my taste. Absinthe, coffee, lemon, sweetness in perfect balance. It's a delight. It's a true delight. It's wonderful. And also has the added benefit of making my blood poisonous to vampires, finally solving the problem of continually being visited by Dracula in the middle of the night. Alamina Harker. This one right here, that's actually not from the vampire. That's from my beard trimmer. Decided to buck and just like grab a hold of a piece of hair and yank out a chunk of flesh with it. Also, I hacked off my fingertip. Every time, there's a little less of me. So we made 3 potions from The Witcher today on how to drink. Of these 3 Witcher potions I made, I think Black Blood is my favorite. But today we made Cat, Swallow, and Black Blood. I've never played The Witcher, but I am on Twitch at twitch.tv/GregFromHTD, and I feel like since I've made these drinks, I gotta play The Witcher. So tune on in to my Twitch. I'm sure I will be playing the Witcher over there. And if you miss it, it'll show up eventually on H2D2, the second How to Drink channel. If you guys want more potions from The Witcher, let me know. I've done other potions on this show, and those links are available to you right now. Throw a coin to your Witcher, oh valley of plenty. Whoa! Throw a coin to your Witcher, oh valley of plenty. Yeah! He's a friend of humanity.